Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we got the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Phase 1 Clone Trooper. This is the 2024 release, so it's on the 3.0 Clone Trooper body, and it's part of the Attack of the Clones subline. It comes in your typical Black Series Galaxy packaging. You of course have the figure in front with this plastic window. You got your mural side art on the side. The same illustration is on the back of the box, with a text saying, "In the beginning phases of the Clone Wars, the introduction of white armored clone troopers in the Republic's Grand Army represented the future of galactic warfare." Then once again you can see on the bottom of the box, it's the number 5 of the Attack of the Clones subline. You get some legalese on the bottom of the figure, and of course this is the top of the box. Today I have a nice look at the mural with the other figures. It fits nicely between the Ki-Adi-Mundi and the Super Battle Droid. And there are a couple boxes before Ayla Secura. I think it's the first release of the Phase 1 and a Lieutenant. But I don't own these, unfortunately, so I can only show you the boxes I have. But I think the murals look pretty good together. I usually don't display those in my collection, but it looks pretty awesome. So this is the first in-hand look of the figure right out of the box. It looks pretty awesome in the first impression. Now we're of course gonna get more into detail of the articulation and the details in a second. So now let's have a look at the details. We of course have the Temuera Morrison head sculpt of the clone with some nice markings here, some scars. It is a little bit shiny, the head, but I think it's totally fine. It has your flat hairstyle, and the Temuera Morrison head sculpt likeness is definitely there. It also finally doesn't have the 5 o'clock shadow beard thing that they had before in the figure, which I definitely appreciate. It looks much better like this. Then for the torso, you got some nice sculpted details also on the belt. The markings on the chest plate is unfortunately not painted. Got some nice sculpting on the boots and on the knee pads. Also some nice sculpting detail on the gauntlet. And some nice details on the back of the belt and the back of the armor in general. Now the figure of course also comes with the helmet. You get some nice details on the kind of V-stripe, upside down V-stripe, which is kind of the mouth of the point of view, can say that. And I think it's called frown, the black line all around of the helmet. On the back you get some details with the painted red thing under here, under the fin. And also some other painted details. Sadly the helmet has a little bit of missing paint details, such as the square in front of the helmet here. And I think it's breathing or air filters here on the side. These are missing. They were painted on previous figures, which is a little bit unfortunate that they left it out here in this figure. But the painted details on the back definitely are a cool addition to the helmet, and it's in general a very good helmet. Now it of course comes with your DC-15 long blaster rifle, which is just your basic blaster mold for the long DC-15 that you get with the Black Series clones. It is in a kind of dark gray, blackish color. It's matte, not shiny or anything. It's a good blaster, no paint details in general, but it's your typical long rifle for the clones and definitely needs to be included with the Clone Trooper. And it of course also comes with the short version of the DC-15 with, as always, nice sculpt work. It's in the same plastic color than the long rifle, so you can decide if you want it with the long look or the smaller rifle. Now for articulation, you of course got 2 joints in your head, so you can move it around pretty good. In head and neck, 2 joints there. You can get a little bit side to side. You can look up this much. You can look down this much. You got a nice full 360 of the head. Then of course you got some crunch here in the chest, which is hidden behind this chest plate. Get some side to side with the body, pretty good amount. Then you got the arms with a little butterfly joint here, if you can see it. And these shoulder pads are not glued to the arm, which is pretty good for articulation, so you can get pretty good amount of sideways. You got a bicep swivel. You got some nice elbow movement, which is a little bit more than 90. These things are also free to move, these elbow pieces. And the hand on the left side, you can move in ways and out, like left and right. And of course can turn it 360. On the left side, the hand, you can move it up and down. And it comes with 2 trigger finger hands. And also here the shoulder pad, of course, is not glued on. And of course you can turn the arm 360 degrees on both sides. So you have to look out for the shoulder pad. Coming down to the legs, you of course got some thigh swivel, pretty far. Kick back this far and front this far. No, even more. This is pretty good articulation. You can of course bend the knees. It's a floating knee pad, so you can, if you want him kneeling, you can move it down or up, which is pretty good for posing, because if it's glued to the leg, it sometimes looks a bit weird on the figure. On the boots, you can of course kick it up a bit. You get some downwards movement. And also here a swivel. And you can turn the foot sideways on both sides. So now for some posing with your Phase 1 Clone Trooper. Here is he with the long DC-15. Here he is with the smaller DC-15. Here he is in a kneeling pose against a droideka. It was very easy to pose him into the kneeling pose, which is awesome. Now as you probably can tell, I'm not the best one when it comes to kneeling poses, but I think you can kind of see that it's pretty easy to pose him and get him to stand in some weird poses. It's an awesome figure when it comes to articulation. He stands in kind of any pose you pose him into. The posability is awesome. So now for some size comparison. Here is the Phase 1 Clone Trooper next to the 2024 Deluxe Droideka and the 2024 single release Super Battle Droid. There is also a new 2025 Army Builder double pack with the Phase 1 Clone Trooper and the single release Super Battle Droid. So I think it's an awesome way to army build. And they do look very, very awesome together. And here he is right next to the Clone Wars Padawan Ahsoka Tano and the Asajj Ventress. Here he is right next to the original red and black box Phase 2 Captain Rex and the Clone Wars Anniversary ARC Trooper Echo. Now for the final comparison, here he is right next to the awesome Ki-Adi-Mundi and the Attack of the Clones Aayla Secura. So now for the conclusion of the video, I would definitely recommend you picking it up. It's a great figure on the 3.0 Clone Trooper body. It's not really a chinner. You can see his chin through the helmet because it's a little bigger. It comes with awesome 2 blasters. It's a great figure with great articulation. A little bit missing paint, but it's awesome. You need it for your prequel shelf. It looks awesome right next to the Jedi on your Attack of the Clones shelf. And also with the upcoming 2-pack on Pulse, you can already pre-order it there. With the Super Battle Droid, which is also a great single release. I think together army building these two for your armies is awesome. So I will definitely grab the 2-pack, and I would also recommend you getting either the single release or the Army Builder 2-pack. It's a great figure. Get it for your prequel collection, and that's it. So that's the end of the video. I appreciate you tuning in. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of the Phase 1 Clone Trooper? And are you picking up the single release or Or do you already have it in your collection? Or are you planning on picking up the 2-pack on pulls? I would also appreciate a like and comment down below. Subscribe if you don't want to miss anything. I always talk about Star Wars collectibles such as Hasbro, Star Wars The Black Series, Lego, Funkos and Hot Toys. Also a little bit of Lord of the Rings stuff. So if you don't want to miss anything and enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe and have a great day.